Hi, welcome back for another unboxing video. This time I'm very excited to open the box of Terrorscape. Terrorscape is a game of one versus many, a horror game with hidden movement. I had the pleasure of playing the game, so I already know how it plays and really enjoyed it. So I'm going to start with showing the components of the game in this unboxing video and follow up with more material about the game. The game is intended for 2 to 4 players, takes around 30 to 45 minutes, ages 14 and up, and the weight is 2.2 out of 5. The designer is Jeffrey CCH and the publisher is Ice Makes. The game falls under the categories of deduction games with horror, fighting, dice, miniatures, and generally hand management, hidden movement, team-based role, and multiple maps. On a stormy night, a couple of unfortunate travelers rushed into an abandoned mansion in the woods to take shelter. But even worse than the merciless rain, they have in fact accidentally entered a hunting ground of a bloodthirsty killer. Terrorscape is a team-based asymmetric horror game. You could take the roles of the survivors or the killer, it's up to you, and survivors cooperate to escape the mansion by searching for 5 keys or repairing the radio to make an emergency call. The killer is solely against the survivors. The killer needs to locate the survivors by their noise or by skills and decide how to eliminate them. In the game, the survivors trying to hide under the sight of the killer and be careful that some actions may create noise. You can also draw cards to find items, and some locations also have useful equipment for you in order to be able to fight. Most importantly, survivors look for keys to repair the radio to make emergency calls, aiming for the ultimate escape from the nightmare. On the other side, the killer hunts down the survivors with unforgiving abilities. The killer needs to manage well their plans and their actions in order to move, sense, spread fear, block doors, etc. When the killers encounter the survivor, a battle of life and death begins, and with various characters, killers, survivors, and maps, this game offers a lot of replayability. Now, for this content of the video, we'll just focus on the components. This is a big box game and it has a spectacular 3D presence, as you can see in the back of the box. You create this 3D mansion which acts as a wall and a dice cube, dice tower, and separates the map from the same map that you see both yourself and the killer, or the killer and the survivors, depending which side you control. And you're trying to play this game of cat and mouse with the life of the survivors in the balance. So let's open the game box. It comes with a linen finish, nice cardboard, great quality, with a lot of attention to detail. You see even the inside of the box has the main map, the core game map illustration. Now we have 3 booklets. We have the killer booklet, the survivor booklet, and the main rule book. So in here you have the components. You have one assembled screen with insert for dice tower. You have one killer game board and one survivor game board with map, which make the 2 sides of the game area. You have 5 survivors miniatures, 2 sets of 3 killer miniatures, the killer level strength board, the different survivor boards, and the different killer boards. The game is extremely fun. You also have components for variants. You have trade cards and survival difficult levels, survival plans, separate ways. Here's the setup of the game, how the game is explained with the overview and the key concepts for the killer and the survivors, the turns, how you take the actions depending on the side you are playing with. Here are the killer turns explained in more detail. Very useful schematics and illustrations and examples. Also, I have to mention that the different characters feel different in terms of abilities from what I've seen so far, and I really enjoyed. Also, the different killers and the different maps provide different experience. And here's how you assemble the tower in the middle, and how you set everything with nice detailed explanation on how to fit everything inside the game. So very nice representation of components. Now, the survival guide. This is a nice booklet which has information about the different killers. We have the butcher, which their statistics are depicted there. you have the murderer, and you have the spectre. You see already the core game comes with 3 different killers, so a lot of variety, and the werewolf also. This is from the expansion, so the first ones you've seen are from the core game, and then you move to the expansion one where you have the werewolf. This is not included in this game box. The huntress, if you want more variety. Strangler, unidentified. I think its expansion brings 2 more killers, if I'm not mistaken, plus more characters. And you have the discover deck with more cards, items, and lots of information in very useful survival guide. Now there is a ton of punch board, as you can see, because you also create the game board area, the play area, the should say mansion. Okay, so let's get some of these boxes out. I think here this is a nice insert to keep the dice power portion of the box nicely stored. Okay. So before I do anything else, I want to make sure to take the main board and place it in the center so that you see the art. Ice Mix has a fantastic quality in terms of components, cardstock, cardboards, materials. Everything I've seen from them so far is amazing. I have even the pleasure of previewing Epoch, one of the latest games in crowdfunding. This was fantastic, can't wait for that also. But for the moment, let's focus on the main board. So you have 2 sides, one for the killer and one for the let's say survivors. They have identical overview because theoretically it simultaneously move, and you don't know just you know, with the wall between you, the mansion wall between you, what is the other side doing. But and the different maps offer different copies of different maps, different locations. Okay, so these offer a lot of replayability if you get the expansions. And overall, as you can see, the art is really nice. You have the main rooms, the main hall, the hallways, the dining room, the banquet hall, the surrounding areas, the shed, the graveyard, the trail, the garden, and the storage room. So these go somehow like that, I would say. Okay, so one opposite the other, and you construct the main tower of the mansion in the middle, which, look at that, looks gorgeous. You have 2 sides. You have the front side and the back side. Okay, you have 2 exits. You can either exit from either and escape, okay, once you find the keys or your radio. So I think I'm going, and these are illustrated nicely, this mansion. This is extremely durable, thick linen finish cardboard, great quality, and together with the rest of the components you make up for the map. So before I set up the rest, I want to show you some of the components. So let's see the boards for the different killers. We have the backstory at the back, nice thematic story, and then you have the art, the spectre, the different levels and what they do. This is amazing, by the way. The butcher and the murderer. Lots of variety here. Okay, so let's put that there. We have the killer level and strength board, which is this one. We have play rates for the survivors. I mean, the quality is amazing, the cardboard. Really great, I would say. So let's take the spare, these are spare tokens. And this is nice, spare tokens. So before I do anything else, give me a sec, I want to assemble the screen with these components and set it between the two areas so that it looks also nice during the rest of this unboxing. Okay, so it took me, what, 4 or 5 minutes to make, to understand how to construct this screen. It's very easy to do it. It's very qualitative, as you can see. It's a 3D mansion that goes between the two boards of the killer and the survivor. It has slots where this fits, okay, like that. And you have a screener plus a nice 3D gimmick between you and the rest of the players. Now, there are a couple of additional boards that go from either side, okay, to extend the area, the playing area. So you just place those here. But what is important is the dice tower that I'm going to assemble and place. Just to show you, also you have this to extend this playing area, this side, okay, somehow like that. And then you have this nice dice tower, which, by the way, you can fit into this separate storage room, so you don't have to construct it every time, you just bend it and store it. And then what you do, I think this goes here, and the whole thing sits perfectly like that, which means when you roll dice, this fantastic contraption has a very beautiful dice tower as well. So very nicely done, very happy with how this looks like. Okay, let's see now the rest of the boards and the rest of the punch boards. We have our heroes or survivors, how you want to call them. There is a big variety and they have very unique powers, and you need to combine them carefully. These are barricades that they're used to stall down the survivors. These are noise tokens to be used from the killer in order to locate and understand the plans and the trajectory, the way they move, the course the survivors are taking, so that they can he or she can corner them. Right. I have to say, not only the print, the colors, but also the quality of these tokens looks amazing. Very nicely done. Everything is very qualitative in this production. Okay, so we have different heroes. We have Sophia Scott, a detective, and the story of her, the background stories you can find and read more about her. Henry William Hooper, the athlete, and his story. Anna Kubrick, the student. Marco Carven, the doctor. Always useful to have a doctor. And Johnson Nispel, the engineer. Right, so these are the selections for the different heroes. Right, we have some additional boards for cards, where the survivors can keep track of their cards. Each survivor will have one of those also. Okay. Right. So I think we also have the play rates that I've shown you. These are used by the killer. Separate ways Okay. There are some spare tokens, always good to have spare tokens. Okay, don't mix them because the number of some tokens is limited to gameplay. This is for the separate ways. And we need also to place here a marker, so we have different tokens, which you cannot see, but anyway, additional tokens that I pulled out of the punch boards. So next thing I want to show you are the nice boxes to keep your pieces and your tokens well stored. You have a separate box for the minis with bases for the color. Nice trays that come out of not only act as storage solution for putting the game away, but also as handy dispensers for cards. Right, before doing anything else, I want to quickly show you the two different, remember we've seen there is a rule book, and by the way there is a very nice guide on how to store everything at the end. Not every company does that, so congrats. Two booklets, one for the killer and one for the survivor, so where you can use both to read it, both for the survivor setup, the turns as a reminder, and some advice, some examples. And here's a quick reference at the back, and the same goes for the killer. He or she has their own booklet with the setup, the turns, and the encounter and the attack, how it happens, the different killers and their profiles. Very useful if you not only for the 3 first, but also if you get the expansions to see how the play style works. And very nice, useful, quick reference at the end. Now quickly I'm going to go through the cards just to show you the anatomy and the art on the cards. We have nice linen finish cardstock. Okay. This is the abilities that the different heroes have, and they played a very important role in the last session we had. Okay, the detective and genius, right? Cool. And these are the rest of the cards, just showing you the anatomy, the quality. The icons are very well separated. Iconography is great. Everything looks and reads out well. Barricade, reviving chainsaw, madness. These are linked with the level and the abilities of the killers. These are very powerful cards that within the game, when the killer progresses and becomes better and stronger, they unlock more powerful abilities, which is really nice. Okay, so great quality of cards and art. Really liking what I'm seeing so far from the unboxing perspective, because as I said, I already played the game, that I'm focusing on the components more. This is a game that really plays nice, but also it gives this excellent, here are the items, this excellent 3D feel, 3D eye candy effect, with this huge mansion between the players, the nice graphics, the beautiful minis we'll see in a sec, then the gorgeous art. Everything is very nice, thematic, and I can really say nothing bad about the game, both gameplay wise and production wise. Okay, lots of cards, lots of different items to the survivors, by the way, they need to be searching for items. Very useful, because they can only carry a certain amount of items on them, but they are very important in order to help them win the game. Okay. Also, kudos to the designer and the developers for giving the variants. This game not only looks great, but as it is from the core box, it offers a lot of replayability and a lot of variety. So very well done. And these are the minis. Now the minis are amazing. So look at that. This is absolutely stunning. I'm loving what I'm seeing. This is brilliant. Okay. Murderer. The butcher. Nice details. Look at the teddy bear hanging from the belt. Oh my god. This is great. And the knives, sharpened knives, and the chainsaw. Okay, whoever has seen movies of this genre, they know exactly what I'm talking about. These are the heroes. Okay, they come with nice plastic miniatures. I believe this is Sophie, if I'm not mistaken. Looks great. And this is the engineer. Okay, great production overall, great components, great minis. Everything is really beautiful, great looking. So very much impressed with the game. I'm really happy with the gameplay I had so far. I'm looking forward for many more plays. So hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to follow with more material about the game, so keep an eye. Many thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Cheers.